الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وسارعوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة أرضها السماوات والأرض أعدت للمتقين الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين. صدق الله العظيم. Dear brothers and sisters, the topic which I selected today is forgiveness and tolerance. One of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the names and attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Af, the forgiver. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taught us in the Quran how to forgive those people who commit atrocities against us. Zulm. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam practiced this throughout his life. He never raised his hand against any woman, against any child, against an old person. He never take revenge from anybody on personal grounds. The only thing he had whenever was defensive fighting or fighting was for the sake of Allah only. And this is what he taught us. And this is, as if follower of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have to do that. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these verses, if we practice this, we'll have a very good life here and very heavy reward on the Day of Judgment. I'm going to quote you a few verses from the Holy Quran and a few hadiths of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam relating to this. You know, there were a lot of things, but this incident in New Zealand really made a big wake-up call for being prepared, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying the believers are got to be all the ways prepared for any emergency like this. And unfortunately, there was no preparedness at that time. Alhamdulillah, all our centers today are taking the precautions because that is something which is required in Islam. What is going to happen is going to happen. Okay? And any time a Muslim loses his life in the masjid or for being a Muslim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him as shaheed. So they are not losing in the hereafter. They are still winners. The other people don't understand it. And if the other people don't understand Islam and Muslims, that is our fault. We were unable to convey the message to them that Islam stands for peace. 24/7, the only greetings, which is the best greeting in this world, is Assalamu alaikum, may peace be upon you. The message of peace. All those people who even greet each other with the message of peace, and anybody who disturbs peace go out of Islam. But the other people don't know that. We know it, they don't know it. Who is going to tell them? That's our job to let them know. Sometimes the people do not have the understanding which we want them to have about Islam. When we started this booklet, What is Islam? Who are the Muslims? Very small booklet. And the last time I was here, and I mentioned and I reiterate again, the Flint, Michigan, they distributed 70,000 copies of this in their community. We received a lot of mail, and one Christian wrote, he said, I hate Muslims and I hate Islam. When I saw this booklet, I was furious, looking for the dirtiest place to throw it. While I was looking for the place, it looked so beautiful, I said, what the heck, I'm going to throw it anyway, let me see what it is. He said, when I started reading, I could not stop. I was told Muslims believe the quickest way to heaven is to kill a Jew or a Christian. Why I'm mentioning that's how they perceive us. Then when I read this book, then I saw that how Islam has used beautiful name calling Christians and Jews Ahl al-Kitab, people of the book. What can be more honorable than that? It incited me to go read more. Finally, at the end, he writes, Islam is beautiful. Theoretically, Islam is beautiful religion. A person who hated, just by reading a small booklet, changed his mind and say, theoretically, Islam is beautiful religion. Practically, they are cutting each other's throat. Then he said, why Muslims don't put their act together so that the other people can see the beauty of Islam? That means we are the one who are not really putting it forward to let them understand what Islam stands for. That creates hate, and hate is the one which created the incidents like that. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَسَارِعُوا, and rush إِلَىٰ مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ, towards the forgiveness of your Rabb. وَجَنَّةٍ, and that paradise, أَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ, with the width of which is more than the width between heaven and earth. أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, which we have prepared for muttaqis. What is the whole rigorous training of the fasting month, which is coming after a month or so? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you become muttaqi. The whole training of that one full month is to make us muttaqi. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for our understanding, is explaining more. What are the three qualities which are necessary to be a muttaqi, to be eligible for Allah's forgiveness and going to paradise? الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ, those people who spend in the path of Allah, whether they are rich or poor, whether in affluent or adversity. Spending in the path of Allah is not only wealth, it is your time, your effort, your talent. All these things require that we have all our efforts for the sake of Allah. That's one thing. The second quality, وَالْقَازِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ, they controlled their temper, they controlled their anger. It's hard. It's hard to just go ahead and somebody's hit you and you hit it back, or even harder than that. It's easy. But controlling is very difficult. This is a quality of a muttaqi, that they control their anger. Everywhere, at home, you might have a problem with your wife, spouse, children, or children may have it with their fathers, mothers. They are not supposed to take the anger. They have to control. They have to reconcile. And that's what the second quality. And third quality is, وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ, and they forgive other people who have done injustice to them. They forgive other people. وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ, Allah loves such charitable people. In another verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَصْفَحُوا, let them overlook, let them forgive and overlook. أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ يَغْفِرُ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ, do you not wish that Allah may forgive you? If you want Allah to forgive you, you have to start forgiving other people. Wallahu ghafurur rahim, Allah is forgiving, merciful. In another verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, in tubdu khairan aw tukfuhu. If you do good deeds openly or privately or secretly, aw ta'fu an su'in, or you forgive an evil, fa inna Allaha kana afuwan kadira. Allah is forgiving, powerful. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying how we should live as a community. That if somebody we have some problem, somebody has done injustice to us, we should be able to forgive. We should be able to reconcile. Now I'm going to quote you a few hadiths of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We'll explain a little bit more for our understanding. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, an Abi Ka'b radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, man sarrahu an yashrafa lahu al-bunyan wa tarfahu darajat. Anyone who wished that they should have good housing in paradise, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may forgive or increase their ranks, falyafu amman zalama. Let them forgive those who harm them. Wa yu'ti man harama. And give those who denied them. Wa yasilu man qata. And visit those who break their relationship with him. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, if you needed help, the person didn't help you. But if he need help, you got to help. If somebody has committed atrocity against them, for the sake of Allah, forgive. Not showing that you are, weak. No. Whenever there is a question of anybody having this weakness that they consider you are not taking because you're weak, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the option for retaliation up to the extent the person has done injustice. But if you want reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we got to forgive. In another hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Salasu uqsimu alayhinna. There are three things I swear by the name of Allah. Who is swearing? Who is taking an oath? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not anybody else. And look at the three oaths which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying. Ma naqasa malun min sadaqa. Your mal will never decrease by giving out sadaqah. Your mal will never decrease by giving out sadaqah. Spending for the masjid, spending for the dawah projects, spending in the publication for dawah materials, spending wealth for the publication of the Quran and distribution, your mal will never decrease. Spending for poor people, spending for these people who needed help, your mal will not decrease. Ma zadallahu abdan bi'afwin illa izza. And whosoever practice forgiveness, Allah will increase his dignity and honor. وَمَنْ تَوَاضَعَ لِلَّهِ رَفَعَهُ اللَّهُ. Anyone who will be humble for the sake of Allah, Allah will increase his ranks. In another hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this is an Anas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam called, وَلَا تَبَاغَضُوا. Do not hate one another. وَلَا تَحَاسَدُوا. Do not envy one another. وَلَا تَدَابَرُوا. Do not depart from one another. وَلَا تَخَاطَهُ. Do not break your relationship with one another. وَكُونُوا عِبَادَ اللَّهِ إِخْوَانًا. And be the brothers to each one of them, oh, the servants of Allah. وَلَا يَحِلُّ لِمُسْلِمٍ أَن يَحْجُرَ أَخَاهُ فَوْقَ صَلَاةٍ. It's not befitting, it's not allowed that a Muslim be angry with his brother, his relative, a community member for more than 3 days. That's the maximum. We have to reconcile within these 3 days. And dear brothers and sisters, look at this. Look at our life. Let me give one example. People do all these things to get high names, good titles. Brothers, when a person dies, the very first thing leave you is your name. The very first thing which leave you is your name. As soon as a person is dead, say, bring the dead body, wash the dead body, take the dead body. Nobody ever take the name of that person who died. You are just a dead body. The second thing which leave you is your wealth. As soon as you close your eyes, You cannot spend even a penny. Whatever you have, that somebody else is going to use it. If you have not exercised the mandatory commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to execute Islamic will, to leave your hard-earned property for your family, do not leave it for Uncle Sam. Because if you don't have the will, state has its own will. Your own family members may go into the courts, probates to get what they really deserve. And they end up spending 60, 70% of your property in that battle. The only thing you got it, 25, 30%. But if you have a will, even if they go to the courts, that's only 2% cost. 98% you are leaving for your family. The main thing is, brothers and sisters, when we are looking for in this world, we got to be, and then second, are spend in the path of Allah. Then the third thing which leave you is your family. Your family will take out the watch, the clothes, jewelry. If they cannot take it out, they will cut it out. Strip you completely, wrap you in a cloth, and put you 6 foot under. At least they go up to that extent to put you under. Nobody go with you. The only thing which going with you is your amal, good or bad. They will be there in grave with you. They will be in hashar. They will lead you up to paradise or up to Jahannam. So brothers and sisters, what I'm trying to say is we got to stress on our amal so that we can have not only good life here, but in the hereafter. Whatever trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you in the case of family or property, use it for the sake of Allah, as you have the time to do that. A few things, whenever I come, a few things I would like to convey it so that we can get the benefit. As you know, alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me a chance. As I mentioned last time, I am among the few early members who established the first Darul Quran in New York City. I was here 5 years, in 70 to 75. Alhamdulillah, the participants of those have been the founding members of others. I moved to Houston. We have a small place. We break up the walls to put up a masjid. 3 people to start, 1 imam and 2 muqtadis. We didn't anticipate at that time that down the line, in 49 years, we'll have 21 centers belonging to one organization. And those centers have from 5 to 15 acres of land with each one of them. Then we started Islamic schools. Alhamdulillah, we have 6 full-time Islamic schools up to high school. And we started Shafa Clinic. We have 4 Shafa clinics. We started the funeral home projects, and then we have 3 funeral homes. Now we have acquired a cemetery, more than 80 acres on one side and more than 50 acres on the other side of the town. And we are looking forward so that the members of the Muslims, those who cannot afford, we are even doing that free. All the expenses paid by the society for those people who cannot afford it. And those people who can even afford it, that property which belongs to the society will provide them free space in the graveyard. So main thing is, if we pool our resources together, we can do a lot. The similar way, we pool resources together, we can have best security system. Here, alhamdulillah, it's very beautiful. I saw this Darul Quran right from the trailer home up to now. It's actually excellent community involvement and dawah projects which are going into, which I would like to tell you this. You remember this, alhamdulillah, we started a project, Al-Quran in the American English. We have distributed over 500,000 copies have a million. We are now, right now, we are running out of that. We are printing 30,000 copies now. Anybody who want to participate, they are welcome to do that. Anybody participating will get the reward of 30,000. The reason why we are doing this, we never put a tab, it's not for sale, it's for dawah. Main thing is those people who contribute, when it get to the pool, and that pool is printing 30,000, you get 30,000 copies. And anybody who is reading that, you're getting the reward. As long as the copy is there, you keep on getting the reward. Then those things, brothers who are in dawah, alhamdulillah, your centers have distributed a lot in English and in Spanish, both. Those are available. What we would like to do that those brothers, if they cannot afford, financially they can afford to take a book and distribute it. That's also help, getting it to the people so that those may not be able to say that these Muslims living next door to us, they didn't tell us about Islam. Finally, what I did this year, alhamdulillah, and mashallah, there is a contribution from Abdul Jabbar also. There was one error here, and that's corrected now. As-salat. I saw the Muslims making the salat and making those mistakes which invalidate salat. Okay, nobody questioned that. Nobody created any wave, including the imams. It's unbelievable. And those people who does not make any difference to salat, they are arguing with each other because shaitan wants them to do that. I give you just two small examples just for our understanding. Number one, the argument is whether he made Ameen in loud voice or in low voice. Brothers, it does not make any difference whether you make it loud or in low voice. Both, it does not do anything with the salat. Salat is still valid. Then Rafa'izan, there's another issue for which they make only the sawab or reward is the issue. It does not invalidate salat at all. It does not make any difference to the salat. You don't even have to make sujood sahw. There are faraiz in salat. If you miss amdan or seven, your salah is not acceptable. You have to repeat your salat. There are wajibat. If you miss, you can complete with sujood sahw. And there are sunan which only make the difference between thawab. But it does not invalidate salat, or you have to make sujood sahw. So what I did in this, we put tabulate. What are the fries? What are wajibat? What are sunnah? Then after that, we put how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam offered his salat. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli." Offer the prayer as you see me offering the prayer. Now I give you two small examples for which invalidate salat, and most of us, when I see that, that's what triggered me to write it, at least the second pillar of Islam. The very first question on the Day of Judgment will be about salat. When the Jannatis are going to ask Jahannami, Yatasaluna al mujrimeen, they are going to ask the question to the mujrimeen, Ma salakakum fi sakar? What lead you to hellfire? How they are responding? Lam naku minal musallin. We did not use to offer the prayer. The very first thing they are responding is, we didn't use to offer the prayer. Lam nakunu taimul miskin. We did not use to feed and the poor people. We used to waste time with playing with the plays. Main thing over here is, brothers, that let me point out those two things. When you go to ruku and you come back from ruku, that qiyam is fard. Normally, they did not stand up properly. You just go on and then go to sajda. No, you have to stand up upright. And at least says, Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana lakal hamd, hamdan kasiran tayyiban mubarakan fi. At least this much. Then your time which is required to be in qiyam is complete. Then when you make sajda between the two sajdas, sitting between the two sajdas is farz. If you don't sit properly, your namaz, salat is invalidated. So at least there are a lot of big du'as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam make. At least you can even say 5 words. Allahumma gfirli, warhamni, wahdini, warzukni. At least this much, then your time will be good. So I just give you these two examples. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has asked one Sahabi who was making that to repeat his prayer. I don't have time, otherwise I could explain it a little bit more. But main thing is, these copies inshallah are going to be available here, and you can take the copy, you can go through that, so that at least if our salat is correct, at least in the day of judgment, we'll have the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please get involved in the dawah projects in your center. Get involved in a few other things. I'm very close to my time. Anyways, I'll be putting state-of-the-art dawah center, which next project we'll be inshallah working on, implementing Islam in your life. That will be another thing. What it does is, you can go to alquran.org, download Al-Wasiyah. It will execute your Islamic will. All you got to have is get it notarized. We make the things available. If you don't want to use it, it's up to you. Main thing is zakat software. You can download zakat software. It will calculate the zakat for you. All we can do is help Muslims implement Islam in their life. So please look into that. And main thing is, remember what happened in New Zealand, and inshallah maybe some brother after this salat will be also addressing that issue. Main thing is that please, we have to be precaution. Anything, any activity which we see which is not valid, we have to notify our own management, the leadership, and also if that is not at that time, you have to notify directly. You can call 911. One thing, make sure that 911, whenever they respond, they are not looking for injured people. They are not looking to take care of those. They are looking for the person who is perpetrator, and they are looking for that person too. So please, we have to make sure that we are prepared for any atrocity, and we make dua for those brothers who are not with us. They were with us before. Innahu ta'ala jawwadun qadeem, kareemum malikum barraufur rahim. Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu wa nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa nashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Dear brothers and sisters, the topic of my today's khutbah has been forgiveness and tolerance. One copy of this khutbah will be on the back. You can take it so that you can refer to those ayat of the Holy Quran and the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned. Anyone who want to get into the projects, printing and all that, you can have this envelope, or you can use this envelope to request the information, more booklets and all that. Jazakallah. Let's waqim as-salah inna as-salata tanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkari wal bagyi ya'izukum la'allakum tadhakkarun uzkurullaha yazkurukum wad'uhu yastajib lakum wa dhikrullahi ta'ala a'la wa 'azza wa jalla wa hammu wa 'azam wa akbar wallahu ya'lamu ma tasna'un.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا استقيموا واعتدلوا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تأكلوا الربا أضعافا مضاعفا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. واتقوا النار التي أعدت للكافرين. وأطيعوا الله والرسول لعلكم ترحمون. وسارعوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة عرضها السماوات والأرض أعدت للمتقين الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. وإذ أخذ الله ميثاق الذين أوتوا لتبيننه للناس ولا تكتمونه فنبذوه وراء ظهورهم واشتروا به ثمنا قليلا فبئس ما يشترون لا تحسبن الذين يفرحون بما أتوا ويحبون أن يحمدوا بما لم يفعلوا فلا تحسبنهم بمفازة من العذاب ولهم عذاب أليم ولله ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء قدير. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Before our representative and our assemblyman, our voice in the Assembly of New York comes here, just a very few announcements I would like to make, inshallah. The annual fundraiser of the Crescent School, which is an Islamic school in Nassau County, is tomorrow on Saturday at Sterling, Bethpage. Dr. Dalia Fahmi is the keynote speaker, and the program is at 6:30 p.m. inshallah. And day after tomorrow, that is Sunday, 24th of March, there will be a rally against Islamophobia by 3-4 big organization of countrywide organization. And this program will be at Times Square. The time is 2:30 p.m. So all those people who stand against Islamophobia, and they should participate in this rally, a great rally that will be at Times Square, inshallah. And I appreciate the khutbah of Malik Farooq Azam, who is doing a great job in dawah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help him and support him and give him long life to contain and sustain this great colossal job that he has undertaken. And now, inshallah, I will just give it to our president to kindly welcome our representative, our assemblyman, Phil Ramos, the great voice in the assembly, and in the assembly and outside the assembly, for the Muslim and for all the people of the faith, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. I warmly welcome our Assemblyman, Phil Ramos. He took time to come to his community today. He is well known to everybody. He helped us through bad time and through good times. He came to MDQ to sympathize with us about the tragedy that happened in New Zealand, and we appreciate his coming down here. I thank you very much, Phil Ramos. Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. I come before you today in this difficult time, almost at a loss for words, which is difficult for elected officials to be at a loss for words. But, you know, I'm sure you've all been in a position where you've had a neighbor, a friend who've lost somebody, and you come to them and you wonder, what can you do? What can you do to relieve their pain? And there's really nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say except be there. I think that the solace of knowing that your friend is there is something that helps soothe our heart. In this difficult time, in lieu of the atrocities of the terrorist act that took place in New Zealand, you know, I truly come before you and I offer my condolences. I saw the original videotape of what happened, and I felt it was like a knife coming through my heart when I saw that. And I certainly, you know, I can't imagine what your community has gone through in seeing that. But you know, we must stand up against racism. I've tried to do that my whole life. We must stand up against terrorism, and we must call it what it is. In this case, it was a white supremacist. In fact, most terrorist acts, the majority of terror acts in this country have been at the hands of white supremacists. Now, that is not to say that white people have a propensity for this. I'm sure they would not want us to say that, and it wouldn't be right for that, you know, but we should all be judged by that same standard. Our countries in the Middle East, Muslim countries should be judged by that same standard. Muslim people have been the biggest victims of terrorism as well. And it's something that we must collectively work to fight against. And we fight against it not with more violence. You can't end violence with more violence. You can't fight darkness with more darkness. You can only fight it with light, with humanity. And I think that that's what your community has certainly shown the rest of the community here. You have 8 elected officials who represent you. I hope they all come here and express their condolences as well and be with you, not only in their time of need, but in your time of need. May God bless all of you, and let's all pray for a better world. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Assemblyman Phil Ramos. Thanks to the New Zealand. Thanks to